Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So, Cancer, I'm going to do a general reading for you. It's general, so it may or may not resonate. If it does resonate and you're drawn to it, there is an extended at the end of this video. The link to that is at the top of the description within this video. I do apologize ahead of time. I'm struggling to talk today, but I really feel drawn to do a video for you. I'm struggling to talk because I had an adjustment at my dentist, my bite specialist yesterday. I think today is a double Advil day. The bar up here, they also took it out and they they broadened it so it was putting a little more pressure up here, but it's also sitting in a slightly different spot. So I may have to pause a bit to figure out where I need to put my tongue to say a word so it comes out properly. So I do apologize, but I am working through it. But yeah, I'm really, because I woke up this morning and I just was drawn to the Wild Unknown deck, Oracle and Tarot. So I'm using both in your reading. And it just told me I really need to sit down and do a reading today. As difficult as it is to talk, but I've also learned after a year of being through this process that the sooner I start talking, and this is where I do most of my talking. I mean, I don't talk this much at home. Who would spend 1 or 2 hours just constantly talking? So it does kind of get me into talking properly again. So maybe that's also why I'm being pushed to do it. It's like, come on, Cindy, get back in there, get back in the arena, get in there. So if I need to clarify anything, I'm going to use my teeny tiny Everyday Witch Tarot deck. And yeah, so we're going to look at current and future energies for you, Cancer. Oh, no, you go. Sorry. I have a bird feeder on my door. There's a big glass door. And I don't know if even in some of my readings I've mentioned them. I have a European starling problem. They're not native to Canada, so they are a pest bird. And they've decided to come in and bogart everything. And I don't like them. They're not nice. They fight with each other. They fight with everyone else. Even one of my mourning doves was standing up to them the other day. It was so funny. I had to look out and say, what's going on in the grass? The mourning dove was all puffed up. It was doing this, the starling, and I've never seen a mourning dove get aggressive because they're so calm and just like chill, right? Like usually birds bump into them and they just go the other way. It's that bad that the mourning doves are standing up against them. So I've changed my feeders. I have feeders for smaller birds now. So the starlings are finding food in the grass, but they're not to come on the window feeder. That is for my finches and my sparrows. So anyways, if you see me get all aggressive above the camera, it's just... Okay, so what I was, before I was so rudely interrupted by that starling, when I said I'm going to do your current and future energies, I'm feeling a real mutable element to this reading for some reason. So I want to say I could be reading someone around you or outside of within your circle. Someone within your circle that's coming in for some reason. So let's just see where this goes. I'm not going to try to identify, oh, this is you or this is them, or unless it's screaming at me. I'm just going to read the energy and let it flow here, Cancer, and see why this message seems so important that I do it today with these particular cards. And I'm feeling a real mutable sense in this, a real mutable feeling in here. The star, you have the starfish. Currently, I'm hearing through the looking glass. Maybe this is what this reading is kind of about. Like this, in the future. Ooh. Oh, isn't that funny? That card. Okay, you got the rabbit at the bottom. I'm just going to do it because I think this deck is pretty much in order. We have the rabbit at the bottom. This is kind of like being cautious and hopeful and looking and watching, which is interesting because I heard that with the starfish, the looking glass. I feel almost though like you're looking at something through like a thick pane of glass. And it's really funny that I would say that before this. This is the first one that came out. It came out first and landed face down, and then this one kind of got caught up and jumped out. So it wanted to be seen. That's Scorpion. But this is the deer, and I've often received messages about kind of looking through an open glass, or looking through an opening, looking through a camera, looking through something. And then to hear like the looking glass. Okay, so with the starfish can be associated with your hopes and your dreams too. It's got a lot of similar energy to the star in the tarot. So your hopes and your dreams, but it's like a looking glass. It's like it's thick. I just literally seen like this. You know, if it's a really thick pane of glass, you know, like those cubes of glass that people, I don't think they use them so much now. I think they were more popular in like the 80s, maybe the 90s. And they would use them as sort of like privacy partitions or a wall, but light would come through. It's like that. I kind of feel like you're going through something, or something's going on around you where the light is sort of diffused. So it's not real clear. It has something to do with your hopes and your dreams, something that you're hopeful for, something that you would have attached a hope or a dream to. But you're having difficulty seeing through it. Like you can't see the details. That's the whole point of like these cubes of glass that I'm describing. You can't see, like someone could be standing completely naked on the other side. You might kind of think, I think that person might be naked, because you would kind of see just like the bits of color, but like a big blur. And so interesting, because okay, if that's where you are right now, what I've just described, this deer can see through it. It's almost like going along the wall, going along the path, you know, being patient, persevering, and then all of a sudden coming to a spot where one of these cubes in the wall has been pushed out or broken, and you can see through. And what you see here, it's really interesting that I'm describing what you see. So maybe this is how this is identifying the reading. You're meant to see something that's going on in someone's life. What you see here is someone who's at a breaking point with Scorpion. This Scorpion is the energy of, it's not Scorpio, right? Like the zodiac sign. And it's also showing up as fire. And Scorpio is a water sign, although it does have Mars as one of its rulers. But this is the energy to me of you're sitting at the table having dinner with the family, and oh, can you pass the salt, please? The salt? You don't think I put enough salt in the, like you just get this reaction like, no, it's okay, I don't need the salt. Like it's like the straw that breaks the camel's back. So somebody's carrying some sort of burden or something going on here, and you're going to kind of see it. You haven't been able to see it clearly, but you're about to see. I mean, it could be something doing with your life too. There could be something in your own life that you haven't been able to see clearly, but you're going to see the connection. You're going to see through this thick pane, this looking glass. And it's kind of like being hopeful and watchful of that. Like trying to understand it better. Trying to understand someone around you better. Maybe this person is well, it has something to do with your hopes and your dreams. It could be someone that you're building hopes and dreams with, or you have been. You know, I said that scenario came in about like sitting with the Scorpion, sitting at the family table, and I'll pass the salt, please. And then you just get this reaction. And then the salt goes into, oh, this, and yeah, and you know, last week I made this and you didn't like that either. Apparently you don't like my cooking. Maybe you should just make your own food. You know, like it just, okay, I don't need salt. It wasn't that important. That's what it is. The triggers are not what's that important. It's something else. The triggers are to show you, are the little red flags to say that there is a much bigger issue here. It's not what the issue appears to be on the surface. There's something much bigger and much deeper here. All right, let's see what comes out for the starfish. Oh yeah, you're building hopes and dreams with this person. Or were, or want to, or... The Sun, the Four of Wands. Okay, before we get into the third card, hopes and dreams, the starfish. Look at this. The Sun and the Four of Wands. This is, right over here, this is the energy of your happiest days, your bright sunshine, your clarity, your celebration, I mean, even a union, a possible union. And then we have the Daughter of Swords. The one thing that's very notable is the direction that this is sitting in. Do you see how the Daughter of Swords is sitting on a sword that's going in a different direction from this energy? Now, the Daughter of Swords is like the Page of Swords. So this could represent like kind of, I don't want to say spying, but watching, observing someone from a distance. And this could be like you trying to look through this thick pane of glass and you just don't get it. Like, what is going on here? Because the Page of Swords is softly noted as someone who could be, you know, kind of keeping track of you on your social media, or watching you in the neighborhood, or, you know, they're not necessarily coming out and talking to you and being like forthright about observing you, like, I'm watching you. They could be kind of, you know, hiding behind a tree, or it's just that sort of energy. But, and I see whatever this person, whatever's being observed here, whoever this is, it's definitely going in a different direction from what this hope and dream was with the Sun and the Four of Wands. It's going in a different direction over here. But it's also going in a different direction based on information that one has started to learn through some sort of observation with the Page of Swords, the Daughter of Swords. The Deer and the Scorpion. The Deer and the Scorpion. This is like looking through and just like seeing this person at a breaking point. I don't feel like you're at the breaking point. Well, yeah, you were really confused and you were trying to get high perspective here. Look at, you are, I really feel like you are this deer, okay? You are this deer. And then we have the Chariot card, and it's coming out as a horse. They're not they're like, one is a cloven foot animal and one is a hoofed animal, but they're still like, I just want to say, like, they're still similar enough. You were going to find them in the same environment, these two animals. You are the one looking, but you're trying to decide like what kind of movement you should be taking here with the Chariot. Things need to move, but what direction to take them in? And I got to tell you, I feel like you're really in a state of confusion and trying to figure out, trying to look at everything that you possibly can from outside of the box. You have the Hanged Man, so there's a sense of self-sacrifice going on here. And when I say self-sacrifice, like that scenario of, you know, pass the salt, blah, 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 it's not getting engaged in that. It's not saying, when I say not getting engaged into that or not being pulled into it, is recognizing that you could probably win with your words in that situation because that was completely uncalled for in terms of what you were asking for, but pulling back and not doing it and not engaging into it. And then with the Seven of Cups, because there's so much confusion here. Like illusions have become part of reality. Oh, and look at the Sun is at the bottom here and the Moon is at the top. So it is. It's like this switched. The Sun, your clarity, your dreams, your wishes coming true. And now we have the Moon energy. So your hopes and dreams have been replaced with illusion. Or you're looking at someone who feels like that's where they're going. Or a situation is. I really feel like it's connected to a person. These feel like so distinctly different. These two energies are so, it's like you observing this and feeling confused about it. But I really think what I said earlier on was part of the biggest part of this reading was what seems on the surface to be a conflict is not the reason for discontent. The reason for discontent is something so much deeper, excuse me, than what's sitting on the surface. And then we could even take that with Scorpio energy, because Scorpio is one of the deepest of signs. There is like some deep, dark stuff. You could be observing someone who's going through sort of like a dark night of the soul. It's their time to do that. So this is, I don't know, it's really weird. Like, I feel like this person might not even be aware of that sort of personal development. I don't want to just call it spiritual development, because it's also personal development. But it does take place much more on a more spiritual realm, like your soul. Allowing your soul to be strong enough to push past the ego, to realize that certain things that are affecting you in your life are based on your instinctual reflexes and your programming that took place at a very young stage in your life, and it's affecting you now as an adult. Because if a person is reacting as they would have been taught to react as a child in an adult situation, it's not going to be very successful. It's not very mature. But I mean, so what I feel like this person is fighting that. They don't want to look at those things. What's this about? Oh. The bottom is the Five of Swords, the Two of Wands, and the Father of Cups. This almost feels like a bit of advice. The Five of Swords, the Two of Wands, and the Father of Cups, like the King of Cups. So there's big emotional energy here. Now, what I'm seeing with this here is to cut something out. I don't know that it's necessarily this person. It might even be to give space and time here to someone. Maybe you need it yourself. To kind of think about, almost like to collect your thoughts with the Two of Wands, and to get kind of like a focus again. Like all this rainbow is sitting behind here, which feels like it's got like positive potential, because the rainbow is associated with the Ten of Cups, which is like wish fulfillment coming true, beautiful mutual energies all around. So there's like kind of like that in the horizon, and trying to figure out, this feels like for you to try to figure out, cut out, maybe even distance yourself from whatever's going on over here, because it is important that none of us can really force anyone to do a dark night of the soul, to like spend some time alone, spend some time crying, spend some time feeling bad about things that have happened in their life, start to recognize the power that they can take back in their life. But how do they start to reconcile all of these things? I mean, that is really a self journey. So if you are watching this, observing it, it's leaving you feeling very confused. It's leaving you feeling like the sun has been taken away here and cloud has come over, and anything that's not cloud and that's illuminated is illuminated by the moon. So it's still filled with confusion. There's still a lot of fears here. Distance yourself from this. Allow yourself to find new focus. And I think it helps to ground you with the Father of Cups, because this is like all of your feelings, all of your emotions, they're all having a real safe place inside of you. You can have all the feelings and emotions that you are required in this situation, and for you, you don't need to express them. You're like, it's really grounded in a watery way. It would be good for Cancer. Okay, let's clarify some of this. Oh God, yeah, it's a 2 Advil day. It's like my whole mouth is sore. I can't even really tell where the pain emanates. I think it's just everything. The Starfish. The Hermit and the Death card. sense, I think you've already done a lot of reflection here. I think you've already thought a lot about this. And I don't even know, like, by saying that too, it doesn't necessarily mean like a lot of time has elapsed. But any time that you've had, I feel like you've gone right into it. Like any time you've had alone, you've gone right into this thought process. There is a sense of needing to end something here. It's almost like with this card, it's a very small card. It might be hard to pick up in the camera, but it's a rope and it's on its last little tiny string, last little tiny tether here. And the sort of like Grim Reaper energy is like just one more swipe and it's over. Is it over to give this energy space to reconcile with itself and come back around? Or is it over because it's over? Like, I think that's the kind of decision that would be up to you. The Sun. Oh, where did that go? Oh, gosh. Yeah. The Knight of Wands and the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups again. There's that confusion. Like, see, it is. It's like the sun has been covered up by cloud and the moon has come out. And it feels tumultuous. Like, it feels like a bit of turmoil. It feels like meeting a dragon. I mean, he's flying. He's got his magic wand going. He's trying to start manifesting something. He's trying to get ready. Trying to have the strength and the drive to go towards this, but not even knowing how to go towards it with the Seven of Cups. Not even knowing how to go towards it, how to get the clouds out of the way. It's like the dragon has created the clouds. Look at all the clouds that are sitting up there. The Four of Wands. The Tower. This is big. It's a big shift, a big change. This is a really big shift and change, guys. Like, it feels like this is someone that was hopes and dreams, or this was some situation that was hopes and dreams. There was celebration here at one point, and now it's going in a very different direction. I do want to say, I feel like you're a bit like the Daughter of Swords here. Like, you are going in a different direction with a completely different energy. And it's taking you over here to look and observe, to see something. Because that's what the Page of Swords wants to do. Wants to observe and see something and try to understand it from a distance. The Daughter of Swords. What order was this? I think it was the Four of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Star. It kind of feels like everything that you've put into this has been missed. Everything that you've already invested into this emotionally has been missed, hasn't been seen. But you feel like this was your hope, this was your dream. This could even be like with a spouse or a partner. Like, it's pretty, the Sun and the Four of Wands and the Two of Cups and the Star coming out with the starfish. Something kind of heaven sent at one time, wanting to heal it. You want to heal it. You really want to heal this. But at this point, it feels like what you've invested in emotionally has gone unnoticed. So the deer. Look at you. Yeah, you're peeking through, finding victory. That's what you want to find, is victory here. I was wondering, Cancer is one of the signs. I want to say, if anyone was ever devoted to other people, and people that often probably don't deserve it, Cancer's there to do that. All the private readings I've ever done, and just like all of the general readings that I've done, I gotta say, Cancer is the one that will keep trying. Will long flog a horse long after it's dead. But you know, there's something to be said for that. But how you support this person, I don't know. because this is something they have to do on their own. Scorpion. The Scorpion. The Scorpion. It's funny these cards would come out because before I started shuffling, I kind of got an answer in my head on how you would support this person. And what I heard was, give them the space that they need and see what they do with it. So you have the Ace of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. Give them the space that they need and see what they do with it. And it makes a lot of sense. Because whatever's going on with the Scorpion energy, they've got to go in on their own here. And right, it's not like, well, I don't know. I think it's all going to, I wanted to say, like, you know, when people are going through a dark night of the soul, they still need like human support around them. They can't just be completely isolated in a cave and feel all alone and abandoned. This person, I feel like, needs points of their own isolation to re-inspire them. But I don't know. You just have to see. I think just stick the message to give them their own space and see what they do with it. Okay. The Chariot. The Chariot. Judgment. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Wanting to move forward, wanting to have a new beginning. But the Hanged Man. We have the Emperor and the Two of Pentacles. You know, I kind of feel like you might even have responsibilities connected to this. There's things that have, like practical things that have to be taken into consideration. Like that whole scenario with the salt. And, well, you don't think I'm putting enough salt in the food. Well, someone still has to cook or someone still has to get a meal. I don't know, like if this is a family situation, like you still need, someone needs to be responsible here. Are you the one showing up as the leader in this situation and being responsible for all the physical and everyday needs that have to, you know, be appreciated? I'm not seeing the Ten of Wands yet. So I want to say, I don't feel like you're necessarily carrying a burden that's heavier than everyone else's here. The Scorpion is carrying a heavy burden. I think the real telltale factor is what this person does if you give them space. They have the potential to have a brand new beginning with this Ace of Wands that can be very inspiring. They may even take the time too. I'm seeing here, like, one of the things that's floating up out of the fire is a book. And then this person's reading a book. Maybe this person might even take some time to journal, to write down things that are going, you could even get them a journal. Don't be too pushy about it. It's here. It's a gift from me to you. It's a little journal. You can write down your thoughts. The Seven of Cups. Holy crap. Oh, God. Okay. The Seven of Cups. Oh, shit. You have the Five of Swords and the Seven of Wands. This is not the, no. This is not the time to approach. The Five of Swords and the Seven of Wands. It's like exiting at any cost. Because this person is someone's very defensive. Well, it's a Scorpion. It's going to strike. I just feel like you're dealing with someone who could strike out. This person needs space. If that's a message, that maybe that's what why you're supposed to get this reading. Like it came in such an unusual way. The Rabbit. The Rabbit. The Eight of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Two of Swords. Like, okay, I really do feel like But to you, there's some sort of investment here. There's some sort of hope and dream. And the Eight of Pentacles with the Ace of Pentacles is like, yeah, you know, put work into this. Let's start again and keep working on it. And then Two of Swords, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I really feel like for you, Cancer, like, yeah, because you are the one, you are the sweethearts of the zodiac that will keep investing in people long after you should probably do that. But I think the investment at this point for you is to see what this person can create on their own. What they do with that energy of being on their own. Because it really kind of feels like maybe there's no one else they need to face right now except who's in the mirror. I just said that and I got that. What's that Michael Jackson song, The Man in the Mirror? Look at yourself. What are the lyrics to that? Something to do with if you want to make a change in the world, make a change in yourself. That's exactly what that is. So this person that I feel like you're in the looking glass with is if you want to make a change in the world, so if it's this world, if this is your situation, someone that you're close to, the only way the situation can be changed is if this person looks at themselves. So, and again, that's why the message of, you know, give them their space, see what they create with it. That's going to tell you where this is going to go. I feel like anything that you put into this is not going to help it, no matter how good it is. Oh, someone else had to read. There's some similar message came out this week. It was Gemini. It was no matter how much goodness you approach this with, it's not going to improve it, because this improvement has to come from within from someone. So now at the bottom you have the Page of Pentacles. Look at it, just trying to throw in the coin up in the air and looking at the map. Oh, a little purple finch came in. Hi, you're welcome. You can be here. Yeah. So there definitely a new approach needed to learn as you go. Oh, that's that. So that's a really interesting reading, Cancer. I'm going to push these aside. I am going to go do your extended. I'm going to look for more specific advice for you and potential outcomes should you follow the advice. Thank you so much, Cancer. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.